Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Tech Friday. Oh, I love Tech Friday. I'm joined here by my co-host, Ms. Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we hope to be joined shortly by Ms. TJ, all the way from New York City. Where attention is necessary. So we're going to get this party started. Fran, what's new in tech today?
This day in tech history. This week in tech history, we're just going to go over a few stories. I like history, so I figured, somebody else might like history. So here we go. And if you ever want to check it out, it's thisdayintechhistory.com. It's a great blog by Marcel Brown. And anyway, I like to know what's happening and seeing the involvement of tech. So June 9th, 1993. Life Finds a Way. The motion picture Jurassic Park premieres in Washington, D.C. The highest grossing film in history at the time, the contributions of Jurassic Park to the field of special effects is perhaps as important as the original Star Wars movie 16 years prior. During the production of the movie, the decision was made to incorporate the use of computer-generated imagery, CGI, for short, in a large scale. By interweaving the use of CGI and animatronics, the movie's special effects were of a realism unprecedented at the time, and for many still to this day. Jurassic Park jump-started a wave of movies that made heavy use of CGI throughout the rest of the 90s, and at present, the use of CGI pioneered by the movie is now entirely commonplace.
Right.
Because, before that there was Jaws, right? But the effects on the Jurassic Park were so much more lifelike. You understand what I mean? You're on the edge of your seat, and oh my God, the dinosaur are coming, and anyway, it was good. And Jurassic World is out now in theaters. Okay, June 10th, 1858. Two ships head out to begin work on what will become the first operational transatlantic cable. Previous attempts at laying a transatlantic cable had failed. Designed for telegraph operation, the cable run is completed on August 5th, and the first test message is sent on August 12th. However, the cable fails on September 18th, and repairs were not possible at the time. I believe that cable is still running underground, and we still have everything that we do online is on, I don't know if it's that specific cable, but there is a cable.
There is a functional
transatlantic cable, and that's how we are connecting all around the world. And TJ, you can weigh in on that if you would like, because it is true. We're like, all the wireless stuff, all the wireless stuff we do is actually not wireless.
Right. There's some wires somewhere.
Okay, June 11th, 1978, Texas Instruments Incorporated, I remember having a calculator by them, introduces the Speak and Spell, a talking educational toy for children.
I love that toy.
Yes, the device features the first electronic duplication of the human voice on a single chip of silicon. It transformed digital information processed through a filter into synthetic speech and could store up more than 100 seconds of linguistic sounds. Speak and Spell. Launch of, so this is June 12, 1967. Launch of Venera 4. The Soviet probe Venera 4 is successfully launched. On October 18th, 1967, it will enter Venus's atmosphere, where it will become the first space probe to successfully return atmospheric data from another planet. Who knew? June 13th, 1983, the NASA Space Probe Pioneer 10 crosses the orbit of Neptune, becoming the first man-made object to leave the solar system. It was launched on March 2nd, 1972, toward the red star Aldebaran, which forms the eye of the constellation Taurus. The last contact with the Pioneer was on January 23, 2003. So that thing is still up there floating around and we just don't know where it's at?
Correct. You would be correct.
It's just up there.
Then get the whole, what is the little chicken little thing going?
The sky is falling. Okay. June 14, 1822, Charles Babbage unveils difference engine. Charles Babbage unveils his design for a machine he called the difference engine, the first example of a mechanical computing machine. The British government funded the building of a difference engine, which Babbage never actually completed. However, Babbage's design for the difference engine and his later analytical engine spurred future designs of working mechanical computers. In 1991, a working difference engine was constructed using Babbage's plans, proving that his designs would have worked. Okay. Oh, how about don't quit? Because it would have. Somebody came back almost 100 years later, and it actually worked. Okay.
Well, he probably just needed more information.
Or he probably needed some more people to just help him keep going. Mm-hmm. IBM is, this is interesting. June 15th, 1911. The Computing Tabulating Recording Company, CTR, a consolidation of Computing Scale Company of America, the Tabulating Machine Company, and the International Time Recording Company, is incorporated in New York in 1924. CTR adopted the name International Business Machines, better known as IBM.
Right.
1911.
Have they been out since? Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't either. 1911.
Wow.
Okay, and our final story, June 15, 2006, Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer was CEO at this point, announces that he will transition out of his day-to-day role at Microsoft by July 2008 in order to dedicate more time to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And that is your week in tech history.
Woo-hoo! Thank you. Those are some interesting articles, though.
Yeah, I thought they were. I was like,
the whole idea that somebody was working on a computer in the 1800s and that IBM was founded in 1911.
Well, it wasn't founded, but because they were a combination of three different companies from the 1800s,
but the foundation was laid.
They incorporated in 1911. I'm like, oh. Yeah, wow. CTR was a good move by calling it IBM because all of them CTR something, it was too many.
You can tell when it's the beginning of something, can't you? Because we get real literal with the terms. Well, I want to add to today's stories, and that is that Instagram will now let you shop products through stories by putting stickers on those stories. And they've started the process with a couple of companies like Louis Vuitton and Adidas, the major companies. And soon, us little guys will be able to put stickers on our stories and drive people to our websites.
Okay, so here's the thing. I bought something from Instagram off the feed.
Yes, you can do it off the feed.
But now you can do it on stories.
The story, yes.
Okay, well, I'm like, let's see what this happens here. So I bought a case for my phone, and it was in the feed. So if you're a business owner, you can set it up for buying on the feed, which is a little bit easier than trying to do it over on Facebook.
Yes, yes.
Well, actually, Facebook has the tags too. If you want to shop, you can put tags and something on Facebook.
Okay, well, we'll have to talk about those too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was just really interesting. So I was like, huh, okay. There was a merger between AT&T. There's talks of merger between AT&T and is it Time Warner?
Yes.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting.
Very interesting.
And isn't somebody trying to get Fox?
Here it is. Comcast makes a $65 billion offer to steal 21st Century Fox away from Disney, because evidently Disney was in negotiations for it, and they upped the ante.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because if Disney gets it, that's going to be major.
Mm-hmm. But, because of the antitrust issue that was going on, but now that they've had the AT&T ruling, it looks like they can go ahead and do this. And so that's when Comcast came in and upped the ante for Fox.
Okay, so there's a bidding war going on now.
Yes.
Because Disney already has ESPN and Pixar and some other stuff. Disney is no joke right now.
Well, not only that, if Comcast actually goes through the deal, Comcast is offering the same $2.5 billion reverse breakup fee as Disney in the event that the deal is scuttled by regulators. So they got a backup deal. If it doesn't happen, they still get paid. But it's going to step further and offer to cover the $1.5 billion that Fox would owe Disney if it decides to abandon the deal and go with Comcast. So I just love rich people because they just pay you to go away.
So here is the thing. So Fox is willing to pay a fee, a walk-away fee, or a contingent. They are losing their deposit. They're not getting it back if they walk away from the deal with Disney. And then Comcast is saying, well, we'll cover that for you.
We got you.
Okay.
No problem. We'll just bake it into the deal and pay them.
Okay. And
we
so
pay to break up with them.
I'll give you this if you just go away from them. I'll pay you. And then so here's now TJ's story from Tuesday on net neutrality takes on a whole new meaning. If Comcast and if somebody buys Fox, whether it be Disney or Comcast, that's going to be an issue, because Comcast, which has Xfinity, which is the internet service, and so AT&T and DirecTV are together, but AT&T's internet service is not that big of a deal.
Time Warner is a big internet provider in places like Texas and that side of the country. Yeah.
Yes. And so they are big, but AT&T, their service is not that good. So they're kind of piggybacking on everybody else's stuff, because AT&T still uses telephone lines. So if you have AT&T, I'm sorry to tell you, you are on dial-up.
So now what I heard coming out of the AT&T merger is that they're giving something called AT&T Watch TV, which is some free TV. But don't get excited, because it's Time Warner Turner content. It won't have sports, and it'll be entertainment centered, they said. So it's going to be, they're trying to give you something for free to make, because AT&T has had all of this bad press with they paid Michael Cohen some money and this and that, and people were upset. People were upset, probably still are. So now you have more people upset about this big merger. So AT&T goes, oh, well, we're going to give you something for free. I don't want it. Free TV.
Well, it's probably something that we could already get for free, like our local TV station.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like
not really free.
You're getting some free TV. Well, it may be something I don't want to watch. So that's no value.
Or something that I can stream at my own convenience over that I'm paying for already on Hulu or Netflix. It's probably something that's already included in some kind of, what do I call it, a la carte services that I'm paying in addition to, my streaming service.
Right. I have a feeling it's something it's not going to be must-see TV. It's just like the little AT&T Watch TV. Like, oh, here's something free. You know how they like it to make you think that you're getting something. Like I was listening to the cable commercial that that's always on TV about join us and get this, and they go, and you get free DVR service. I'm like, that should come if I got the box. Why are you charging me to use the box? I'm like, that's stupid. That should come with.
That's like saying we're not going to charge you.
Right. So they're saying it's an add-on bonus. You get free DVR. I'm like, it should be free. Okay, it should be free. That's like charging me to use the box because DVR means I'm recording, right? Yes. So you're charging me to record something. So and if it's a free channel, you're charging me to record a free. I was like, that is the stupidest thing ever.
How long have you been charging me?
You should. I'm thinking, I get a DVR, I should record, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be something like, well, we're giving you free service. No, the box, that's how the box works.
I think that, when you're in a focus group, when you're on a team,
and
the synergy is flowing and you're brainstorming, you're just listing all the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how can we frame that? Let's tell them it's free.
Right. That's what I mean. By saying it's free, it sounds like a good deal to those who aren't really paying attention.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, you're trying to find out why is this bill why am I getting this bill?
But I'm thinking it's a DVR box. It's supposed to record. Why are you charging me?
And you should own the box.
It's stupid. I'm like, free.
I paid for my DVR, right?
Yeah,
but
Pat.
But anyway,
that's how you frame it to make you think
that they're really doing something. Like Pat says, Pat Murray's watching us all the way from Durham, North Carolina. She says, remember the days when you paid rent on your telephone in addition to your phone bill?
I remember.
And then, do you remember where there was, what was the name of that company? WorldCom or something? Okay, cell phone had come out. And so virtually you could do long distance and did not have to have WorldCom or something, but they still wanted you to pay long distance. It's amazing to me. There are still some long distance companies out there that are trying to tell you you can make a call long distance and we'll only charge you a few cents. So, what?
But see, this is when you have to, and it stuck out to me because, like I said, it's a commercial. I really was not paying attention, but that stuck out to me. Why are you making it seem like it's such a gift? Like we're giving you free. No, that's not gonna make me run and call you and say I gotta get that free DVR service now.
Somebody who is all about free and not paying attention, TJ.
I know.
And that's why we tell you pay attention. If they tell you it's free, everything free is not good for you.
No such thing as a free lunch. And there is, but what about these people who are still paying for minutes?
I just think they're taking advantage of people. Seriously. They really are. And then Verizon just added another something to their plan. I was reading, which is going to confuse people even more. They have another tier to their unlimited plan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it that unlimited is not unlimited.
It used to be when Verizon first started doing cell service, it was. And then they woke up and said, oh, wait a minute. People are really going out with this unlimited. So they started, okay, well, we got to pull everybody back. Yeah, they reined it in.
And it's not good because you really don't get what you think that you're getting. 2 gigabytes is really not going to do a whole lot for you. 2, you can use the maps and burn up 2 gigs.
Mm-hmm. That's like blink an eye.
Yeah, I was like, what? Hey, Ramel.
What can you do with that?
Not a whole lot.
What do you do when you see these 125 megabytes? It's like,
that ain't a lot either.
What is a megabyte?
Megabytes?
Megabytes are not even, that is a blip. Because everything.
Do we remember that anymore?
We're in gigs now.
What is that?
But if you don't understand the language, it sounds like a lot.
Wow.
Yes, it sounds like a lot. But it's not. But that's why You have to educate yourself. Like you watching the show today, you watch the show every day that we have the show on at 10 a.m. You watch it because you're going to get information that you need. And this is one of those things that you need to know that saying it in this kind of way, the way the companies frame it, they're trying to entice you to buy, thinking you're getting a deal, and you're not. You're not getting a deal.
Yep. So
No.
you better pay attention. When Split Willie shows up, you need to know.
That is, I was like, come on, y'all. Really? And then, and then they dupe you into a 2-year they tell you this is a 2-year contract. I'm going to try and be nice with my words. Then they tell you that you have to be with them for 2 years, but then the service that you get, you're stuck because you're like, I can't. You
got to pay for 2 services because it's not ample. So now you got to augment it with this.
Something's hidden. Always.
Yep, and it's all behind the screens, and that they figured out how to be, the guy behind the curtain, and let's tell them this, but we're really going to do this. I'm like, really?
I always equate these things to dating. So it's like showing up for dinner, and then Boo Boo only has enough for the entree, and you got to pay for dessert. What the heck? Finding out that it's Dutch.
You got to pay your half. I remember when I was cutting the cord, and because I had been with DirecTV, and the bill kept going up. It kept going up and kept going up. And I'm like, okay, let me just pay you guys all off right now. I'm going to pay it all off. I paid it all off, and this is my final bill. And I paid, and I don't have anything else. So I paid them off. I get a bill from somebody a couple of months ago. Oh, you still owe 105. I'm like, now really? I paid you off on purpose. I had a whole plan set, and I know I paid you off because I knew I was going to cut the cord. And I'm like, see, now y'all are trifling for that.
That's like getting a parking ticket after someone borrowed your car. I was not driving my car on this day. Y'all got this ticket.
and it's just, I was like, come on, really? I went away from your service. I talked to the service rep, and she's like, are you sure that you want to go? You've been with us for over 20 years, and And I'm like, yes, and maybe we can give you DirecTV now. No, because DirecTV now, and see, what we're telling you is do your homework. What do you get for the things that they're trying to tell you? Okay, so yes, it's $35 a month, but that's only going to be for 2 months. And then you can only share it. It's only for one person. Well, my mother-in-law watches the TV and stuff too, and we take care of it for her. Well, with Sling, I can have
multiple
accounts. With YouTube TV, I can have multiple accounts, but with DirecTV now, I can only have one. It's like, this is not going to work.
Well, and then here's the thing. When the grandkids come over, everybody's riding the Wi-Fi at the same time. The 4-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 11-year-old. I'm streaming something because I don't want to see Disney. I'm trying to do something in my office. My daughter's over there on it doing something else. I need it to work, whether one person is on it or the whole family is on it, and I don't need it to be changing, costs. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I just want to say this to you guys who are trying to cut the cable. You remember that boyfriend after you broke up with him and he kept calling and texting and got this plea and copping a plea? Look, I know I didn't do what I was supposed to do, but baby, I've changed. Don't go for the open.
I've changed. No, you haven't.
Don't go for it. We want you back. And they'll put stuff in the mail. We want you back. No.
Don't go for it.
Yeah, everybody remember that song? Ain't you proud to plead, baby, baby? Ain't you proud to beg?
Because if they beg long enough, then they'll be back in your pocket. No.
Exactly, because they have not changed their character. They just changed the paint on the car. It's the same car.
And Pat says, when I was a kid, they'd shrink the size of the candy bars and put new size on the label.
What?
Because it was a new size. They just...
Yeah.
all the packaging. Have you noticed? And in some cases, they didn't even change the box, Pat, because they had all these boxes. They just, when you look inside, it's only half full.
Oh, wait. Now, see, KFC, you used to get a bucket that was like this, and it was a bucket of chicken. Now you get a bucket like this. Then they have the little half thing in there, and the chicken is sitting up on top of the half thing, and it's about that. I was like,
you mean like in a store when they put the paper in the bottom of the thing?
Yeah, but they have it has a little like a lid thing that goes down in there, so it doesn't go all the way down. So the bucket.
So that's like a fake bottom in the bucket.
Yes, I was like,
that's an optical illusion, Terry.
The fake bottom in the bucket of KFC chicken. My.
And I was like, okay, because you can put napkins and stuff down there if you wanted. But I was like,
well, see,
and the buckets are not like this anymore.
Look, I would feel better if I looked at that fake bottom and saw that it had a package of napkins and things. You know what I mean? Because I'd feel like, oh, they cared so much. They didn't want to make sure I didn't forget my stuff. But to just have a fake bottom, come on, people.
I was like, seriously?
What's the name of that TV show? Deception? Where the guy is he's a magician, and it's all about illusion and you know what I'm saying?
Making people see one thing but they're not getting that. It's a deception.
The name of the program is actually Deception.
And Pat says direct Dish TV is still sending her baby come back letters for 5 years now. She said, I'm done. 5 years.
We moved on.
And Dish did not have a whole lot to offer anyway. When I looked at the packages between DirecTV and Dish, I was like, no. I couldn't do it. Hey, Michelle. So it's just really interesting. I'm like, really?
There's a lot on the plate.
Yes. And if anybody have any questions about any situations that you're dealing with, maybe cutting the cord, the mergers that are happening, there are talks of T-Mobile and Sprint coming together, which will make a very strong third option for your cell phone. As it stands, Verizon is very good at cell phones. They're just not good at data. AT&T, I'm not sure about data. T-Mobile, I know that they give you free data, especially if not free data, but they give you unlimited. If you're streaming Netflix, they have something with Netflix that they'll allow you to stream.
Well, I know that my Sprint plan is unlimited, and I have not had a problem with them fluctuating and acting crazy and slowing down my data. Wherever I am, I can stream a movie. It has not been a problem.
And that is probably going to continue.
I hope so.
If the merger continues, I think that'll still continue because T-Mobile wasn't, T-Mobile owns Metro too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Wow.
So they're just like, we'll just take all the little guys and let's just have a.
It's going to be one or two communication companies and you'll get everything from one or two and you won't have a choice.
Exactly. You'll either pay or you won't get anything.
And Coach Karen told us last week, she said, we are very fortunate that we have choices. In Canada, there is not that choice.
Right.
You are stuck with whoever that company happens to be.
Well, we don't have a lot of choices. I know in the area where my daughter lives, there is only one choice.
No, what I'm saying is in the United States as a whole, there are choices. In Canada, there is no choice.
They don't have that.
They don't get to choose.
Have they nationalized it or something?
Karen would have to come on and tell us, but I'm like, ooh.
Well, I've got to pop out, guys. I love you. I know it's Tech Friday, so you'll probably be here for a little while. Yeah. So I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So anything happening on the social media news, TJ, besides Instagram? And
I posted something earlier today about Snapchat.
Uh-oh, what's going on with the Snap?
So Snapchat has a developer platform. And so the developer platform is the set of tools and code and stuff that the company, or in this case Snap, and Facebook does it and Twitter does it. So they have a separate developer platform where they allow people who know how to code and create apps and create software and things that talk to each other in the back of the app, in the back that you don't see. Yes. So they developed this new platform to allow other app developers to connect to them and create things, fun things that make the users happy. Because when you have an app, the end thing is to make them happy. So they buy those in-game purchases, and those in-app purchases, that's how they make the money now. It used to be ads, and now they moved on to in-app purchases, like, you know, and little purchases like 99 cents, $1.99, things like that. And that adds up. If you've got millions of users of an app, it's a lot of money. Yeah,
because that's what they do on they tell you the app is free to download, but then the in-app purchases are, if you want to unlock this without ads, then you need to pay this price.
You have to pay. And I believe I was watching the talk, was it last week or something? I think Julie Chen, one of the ladies on the talk, she was saying that her son had racked up like thousands of dollars in charges from using the apps and buying stuff in the app. And she was like, they had to pay it because you can't contact them and say, well, the little kid bought it. And, you know, she was like, how is this, how is that possible? I was like, well, I'm thinking to myself, you should have had it set up the family plan where your child has to get permission to buy stuff. So she didn't know anything about that. So she got this big bill and was shocked. But that's what they do. The app developers make this thing where if you want to, you want to buy extra stuff, you have to pay. If you want to advance over a certain level, 2 levels are free, but if you want to go up and up in a game, you have to buy. So different things like that. But that's the platform. So Snap has something called Snap Kit, and it's a kit that's going to let these developers create stuff like Bitmojis, because Snap owns Bitmoji. So this another app that wants to use the Bitmoji feature in their app. But, and the Bitmoji is the little cartoon, the little animated cartoon
that looks like you.
You go in and set it up to make it look like you. So you can take that Bitmoji image and use it in other apps. So that's one of the features.
And so now, will that help with that security issue of the third party?
I'm going to explain that, but there's like 4 parts of this kit. So there's the Bitmoji, there's the login. So the login feature where, you go to a website or another app and they say log in with your Facebook credentials or log in with your Google Plus or Google. So they're going to have a Snapchat login for some of these apps. You're going to be able to, instead of creating a new account, because you go to a new app, you have to put in email and name, pass, all of that stuff. So they're going to have a Snapchat login. So they'll have a button that says log in with your Snapchat account. You tap it and you're in. So that's one of the things, login. Then they're going to have a story feature where you can have your stories translate from Snapchat over to the other app and vice versa. And then there's one more. Oh, stickers. So they're calling this creative, where you can create stickers, filters in the other app. So this is all for people who own other apps to create it. So right now they have Tinder, Poshmark. They had a couple of them. There's a list of them. Let me see if I can find the list. So it's Tinder, Postmate, Poshmark, Eventbrite, Giphy, Pandora, Patreon, SoundHound. Those are some of the app creators, the brands that are using it. Wow. So if you go to Poshmark, the Poshmark app, you'll see a button that says, log in with your Snapchat credentials. Well, and then also some of the apps, you'll be able to create Bitmoji stickers and connect it to Snapchat.
Wow.
So they're building a bridge between trying to build a bridge between the two apps. Now the privacy thing, let's talk about that. Now,
because that was the whole reason why we had
so
advised
this platform, They're not going to ask for those things that Facebook asks for. They don't want to know your friends list. They don't need to know anything other than the information they need to log in. They're not going to ask for extra stuff because they don't need it. That's how it's going to work. They're not going to ask for it. So that's the privacy level where they just want to know your name and your email. And they're not going to ask for anything else. Also, there's going to be a connection. The connection between the two apps will be broken if you don't use it in 90 days. There'll be a 90-day window. So if you say you log into that other app with your Snapchat account, and if you don't go back in that time period, the next time you go in, you won't have a connection. It'll break it and erase all that data.
Wow.
So that's what Snapchat is doing. There's some more stuff in there. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. I did a post on it on my Facebook page, so I went into some detail. So what Snapchat is going to get out of this is that they want these other apps to let their the other apps, the developers are going to make specialty stickers and filters. So they can make a sticker. One of the examples was something about a pizza and letting you know when the pizza comes, and you'll know it through the sticker and the price or something like that. They're going to build that kind of specialty knowledge into it, the info into the other app.
Okay. So now with the third, so we don't need to be concerned about the third party login, like because a lot of times they say log in with your Facebook or log in with your Gmail account.
Right. See, they don't want now when Facebook did it, when you see these apps with your Facebook login, they always say, oh, well, we need access to this, that, and that, and that. And Snapchat is saying, no, we don't need that. We just probably need your name and the email.
Okay.
We don't want all your friends list. We don't want your contact list. We don't want to know what you're doing. So, think about this. Before this Cambridge Analytica scandal with all of, they were selling the data and the political thing, that was because when you got a connection with Facebook to get data like that through their developer API, Facebook let you in. And remember we talked about it. Facebook let you in, and they opened the whole smorgasbord and saying, okay, you can have some of this and some of that. And now Snapchat is saying, well, you can come in and the first door, you're it. You're done. You don't need to go into that room where, the friends list are. You don't need to go over there where this person keeps their contact information or any other sensitive data. You don't need that. It's kind of like you only get what you need.
Wow.
So that's why I was impressed by it. I said, well, Snapchat is trying to, and for Snapchat, this brings that connectivity where they have these apps that people are using, and they can kind of draw them into Snapchat through the bridge of using the stickers and the filters, the login, the story feature, and all of that. It's a big deal, and I'm really excited to see what's going to come of it. It sounds like a good way for them to get content and get more people into the story feed.
Wow.
So if you're not using Snapchat, I always say, go in and try it. It's a lot of fun. And what you do in Snapchat, you can save. There's a save feature.
And we always tell you here, go try stuff. Go play with it.
It's fun. If you want, and the one thing you don't go by, and I hear this a lot, and I see it on Facebook. Oh, Snapchat is dead. Now, who uses Snapchat? I'm like, there's a lot of people using Snapchat. It's fun. You may want to take a break. You may want to go in and play with all the little. I did that one morning. I spent like 10 minutes just playing with the little filters and the little things and the little flying things, and they put the filters on your face. I just spent a few minutes playing with it, and I saved each one, and I can go back and use it when I want. That's all I did. And I spent 10 minutes doing it, and I was done. I put it away. So that's what you do. Go in and play with it. Have a little bit of fun. Learn something about the app in case you never know. Snapchat may have a comeback, or people may go to it. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is a good sign, this developer kit that they have. I'm just really excited to hear it.
I'm just thinking that, they're taking steps to put it out there to help you, but they're also looking at your privacy, trying to keep it a little bit more secure.
Right.
Okay. So, what was I going to say? There are so many things happening around the world in tech. There was, Microsoft Office is getting a simpler, cleaner look. I personally don't use Office anymore. I did when I had a PC. And by the way, Microsoft Office does work on Mac. You can run, they have a Mac version as well. So I just thought it was a little bit cumbersome to use. It was a little bit too much. And now they say they're getting a new, simpler and cleaner look. Don't know what to make of that. And see, things should be easy to use. It shouldn't be complicated. Now, I told this story back on Wednesday, but it bears repeating. If you have bought a phone, the phones now are smartphones, and they all cost upwards of $1,000. Everybody was screaming about, oh my God, Apple's phone is $1,000. Well, I went to go help one of my clients find a new phone. Mm-hmm. All of the phones.
All the phones are over $800.
All of them. I was like, okay. So they're all over $800. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Get the care plan, the insurance, if you're going to buy one. Because you think, oh, I'm not going to have anything happen to my phone. Well, here's my story. I'm doing a open house. I'm putting stuff in the car. I laid my phone down on top of the hood of on the top of my car, and I'm putting the stuff in the trunk. Walked around the car, got in the car, took off, was going, drove down the street, got on the freeway. I heard something go clunk, clunk, clunk. It's like, what was that? And I looked where I normally keep my phone. It wasn't in the little charger place. And I'm like, okay, where's my phone? I pulled out my iPad and it has Find Your iPhone. So I punched it up and I was like, oh, it showed me exactly where the phone was. And I drove back a couple of blocks to look for the phone. I'm looking, I'm like, it says it's right here. Well, when I found it, that phone was mangled toast. You couldn't even identify that it was a phone.
Wow.
I was like, OMG. So I'm thinking, I'm not panicking, but I am thinking, okay, do I have to go to T-Mobile, get a new phone, pay whatever, the new phone is going to cost, because I want the one I had. I don't want to backtrack. So, and so I'm like, well, I have to go to the Apple store to do something. I went to the Apple store. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I have Apple Care on this phone.
So you were like, I'm covered.
I was covered too. Cost me $100 to replace it. Not the $6 or $7 that it would have cost to replace it.
Right.
Had I not had the Apple Care. I was like, that $100 saved me.
Yeah. So the 100 versus the 800, whatever, that's a deal.
Yes, it is. So protect your stuff, respect the tech, protect the tech. Do whatever you need to do. Put it on, like your computer. That's your workstation. That's where all of your files and stuff are. You need to have backup. TJ and I keep talking about this. You need to have backup. You need to have it protected. Don't leave it in the car. I'm just going in the store for a minute. Don't do that. People don't care about just a minute. They'll crack your window trying to get something they think is valuable.
Right. And so that extra time you could to take care of that versus, okay, come back, your car window's broken or, whatever.
Respect the tech, people. Respect the tech. And then don't leave it all out in the sun and some other stuff that people do. I was like, don't do that. Just leaving it on the seat and it costs you too much, and it's too much of an investment for you to not take care of it properly.
And it's like I said, you take that extra minute, and it's not even like your phone and stuff. I heard people that leave their children in the car, they leave the car running, or I'm just going to be a second, something, what could happen in a few seconds versus, okay. And then you want to think about after the fact, I shouldn't have done that, because now I have to replace a window, or my car was stolen, or something worse with your child.
Yeah.
You know? So think about it. Say, listen, take the extra step and do what you have to do. Just do the right thing. Do it the right way. And you won't have that regret.
Yeah, don't be that busy where you got to just run in for a minute. That you should have had a plan anyway for that day, for that trip, or whatever it was that you're doing. And maybe we slow down. Maybe we take a little bit more time. And don't cram your day with so many appointments that you're pushed and you're rushed or what have you. Figure out how to make it so that you're thinking and not just reacting. It's not a good thing, and it's really you don't need to be feeling bad about any of it. Dog, cat in the car, whatever it is, you shouldn't have to feel bad about something that has happened, especially with something coming up.
Right. Exactly. Just think. Just take a moment and think.
What do I need? Because I definitely, had I taken a moment to think instead of like, okay, now I got to get ready to go to this next appointment, I wouldn't have put my phone on top of the car and drove off. If you are looking, you're looking to maybe buy some new tech and need some advice on what to get, or you found something that you use and you're having a great experience with it or not so great experience with it, we'd like to hear about it. This is Tech Fridays here for us. So just to talk about it, see what we need to do to help. So put your questions in the chat. We will monitor the chat all the time. We'd like helping out.
Chat different places.
Yes.
We got chat everywhere.
Yes, we do. Chats on everything. And again, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. You could have been somewhere else, but you decided
but you're here.
Yes, and you're hanging out with us. And speaking of tech things, I totally forgot to push the go live button at 10 this morning. I was like, whoops. Oh my God.
But and that's funny that you say that, because I was watching Ross was doing like a pre-warm up to his show that he does with Rachel, can't remember last name, but he has a show on the B Live channel. And he was doing like a pre thing to say, come on over, we're gonna have a live show at 7. So he did it at like 6:30 on his Facebook page, but he was saying about, the things that could go wrong with live streaming. And we were in the chat saying, things go wrong all the time. All the time. You can't control that. You just have to go, okay, like I didn't have my mic on. I didn't have my external mic on just now. I had to switch. I had to plug it up. I didn't plug it up. I have it in front of me, but I forgot to put the plug in the back. It's just that my other mic was picking up sound because, you got different mics everywhere. If you have an external mic, you got an internal mic.
Yeah.
So sometimes those things happen, or you didn't push the go button, or something. And what are you going to do? What do you do?
It's like, apologize. I went, oops, forgot to push the button.
Yeah, oops. And you make a joke out of it and you laugh and you keep going. But those, to someone who has it, and we've been doing a live streaming thing for
years.
I can't even remember.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So to us, I go, oh, my mic wasn't on. I plugged it on and kept talking. Because, it was like, that's what you do. But someone who's like starting out new and fresh with live streaming on Facebook or Twitter or Periscope, Instagram, wherever they are, they let those kind of things will stop them and flush to them. So you just, if that happens to you and you're doing a live stream and you're new to it, just go, oops, I did X, Y, Z. Just say what it is and just laugh and say, oh, well, now what was I saying before this, this thing that I did that was so funny?
And because the people want you, they want to hear from you. They don't want it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. Oh, take 2. Let's start that all over again. No, you missed it. Oh, it's okay.
It's not TV. This is not the news. This is not a sitcom. It's not scripted. You just, get on and say, oops, my mic wasn't on. Oops, I forgot to press the button. Another thing Ross brought up, he was saying something about recording and not having, you think the mic is on, but it's not. And you talk and talk and talk. And then at the end, especially if you're recording something, you find out the mic wasn't on. I hate that. I've done that a couple times. And then you got to go back and do it all over again. I hate those things. But what are you going to do?
And especially you had something important to say, so you just like, okay, round two, let's just do it again. I'm totally
and it's
that.
Always something you said something really good or really smart, or you had a good message, and you were like, oh, that was great. You didn't press the record button, or the mic wasn't on, or something
like,
something didn't say properly. Always happens. Now, what can you do? This is technology. It's not 100%.
Nope.
The computers break down. Your internet goes out. Your mic stopped working. You got to reboot the computer. That's happened to me thousands of times. I got to reboot the computer because these are machines.
And you don't control your internet service provider. If they decided they're having a down day, it's like, okay. And what that does for me is that I figure out I need to make sure I have a backup.
Have a backup.
System.
You can use your phone if there's a mobile app. Yeah. So I'll just go on with the mobile app, or if you got another device or a laptop or something.
Yep.
Just have a backup and say, okay. And even if the backup fails and you go, oh, well, it wasn't meant to be today. I'll, leave a note, write a post. This is what happened to me, and this is funny. And guess what? I'll be back tomorrow or next week.
Yep. Because sometimes they're on the TV shows. They'll put, the color bars up.
Mm-hmm.
Technical difficulties. We will be
back. Please stand by.
Yeah, please stand by so you'll get that. So we want to see your lives. I want to shout out to Dina Robinson. She did her live, a couple of months back, and now she's still rolling and still talking and doing her lives. It doesn't need to be professional. It just needs to be.
This is not, like I said, this is not NBC, ABC, CBS, where we got writers and producers, and you got control room and the room with all the dials and the things we don't have that. All of that is not here. So it's you and the camera and the mic, and you talking, and something's gonna happen. Your kid can come in. I was watching someone on Instagram. The little daughter was making noise in the background, and she said, "Can you keep it down?" And then the little girl came over and she picked her up and put her in her lap. What can you do? And she said, "Oh, well, I hope nobody, this does the." I was like, "Listen, you're in your home with your kid. Kid wants your attention. All you have to do is just keep talking." And the little girl was amusing herself, but she wanted to sit on her mother's lap. Like, how could that bother me? That doesn't bother me because this is not TV. This is not something where it's Netflix or oh my God, a little girl came in, and no, that's not the place for that. That's why I call live streaming. It's live. Yep. It's real life, and it's streaming. Yep. And I want to thank Joseph Cisneros. I hope I said your last name. He's the one that came in and told me my mic wasn't on. So thank you, Joseph. So we got a new watcher, a new listener. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
You're still here. I hope you're still here.
We appreciate it. Check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Just subscribe to it. Go check out TJ online everywhere. Webgirl TJ on Twitter, and follow her. Follow somebody else here in the chat. Pat Durham from Durham Skywriter. Follow her, and let's build our community together.
Yes,
following one another.
That's how you do it. One person at a time. If it's one person at a time, it's one person. It's somebody. Somebody decided to watch for whatever length of time. And I also want to say about this week, I was watching Mario Armstrong, and he was talking about something called the S curve, and he was saying about every time you start out with a new project or something, you start at zero, and then you grow and grow and grow, and everything gathers and gets larger as it goes up the curve. And once you get to the point where you've achieved that project, that thing or whatever, you may have to start with something new. You always going to start at the zero. Yep. And he was saying that that's the thing that makes people, I guess it makes them anxious or whatever, but he said you have to start there with the zero. And then you grow, and everything gets bigger, and you bring more people in. But you're going to start at zero. So he was saying, like, why is everybody so afraid of the zero? Like a number that, I only have 5 people watching. Well, it could be zero. That's what I'm going to start saying. I only had 10 people. Well, it could be zero.
Zero. And we appreciate you because you're not zero. You're here with us.
Yeah.
You're right here with us. And we look forward to you coming back on Monday. We're going to be doing a coffee talk. We're talking about book writing this month and, you know, doing what we can to get our books and things written, get them books done. There are people to help. We're going to put some things over on the BizChicks page, some links to people I think that may be of a help spur you on to get the book done. I don't care if it's a picture book, a photo book, or whatever. Get the book out.
That's a common misconception there that people have, that you have to write War and Peace. Like your first book has to be War and Peace or something. No, it could be like a 30-page ebook, a 50-page ebook, a 10-page ebook, but it's still a book as long as it's content that you think people might be interested in reading.
Yep. And you have something to share. All of those nuggets that you talk about and you just talk about and it flows out of your mouth, and record that. Send it over to rev.com. Have them type it up for you. rev.com. Have them type it up for you, and they will charge you $1 a minute or whatever, how long it is. And you can take that and create a blog. And if you want tips on blogging, there's the lady that TJ talked about, Maria. Is that her name?
Maria.
The lady that does the blogs. I can't remember her name.
I know a lot of people.
You talked about her, and she helps you with blog writing. Then we got Tim Gillette from Rock Around Your Blog.
Right. And there's another one, Sue. Oh, I forgot her name, but I'll put it in the chat when I remember the Maria person.
Yes,
it's just not coming to me now.
And I know because I wrote her name down, and I was like, oh, I need to go check her out. But there are people that can help you with getting your blog started. You want to get for a nice place to start writing. Go to medium.com and just start typing.
Just start. You can write your blog post on Instagram. You can write your blog. You can do a series of things on Twitter.
On Facebook too.
It's microblogging. It's called microblogging. The Twitter, now that they uploaded they changed the limit to, was it 260, 280, 280? So you could do a couple of tweets and, you know, type out a message and just have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, and take that as and build on that as an idea for a blog post and a book. Like I said, the book doesn't have to be War and Peace. It can be something small. You want to start small.
And it just needs to be you.
Yes.
It just needs to be you. You're writing it because, I thought that was a really good thought, and I'm going to share that. Just share it because you want to share it, not because, okay, how many likes am I going to get from that? I wonder how many. Just share it.
And one more tip is for people that don't want to go live. You don't have to go live. You can still record. You can use your phone to record or your computer and talk and have that transcribed by rev.com too.
Exactly. So hopefully we hope these tips have helped you this weekend. Go play with your tech this weekend. Go have fun. Go check out Snapchat. We might come over there and look you up over there on Snapchat. I believe BizChicks is on Snapchat. If not, we will be this weekend.
I'm on Snapchat. Mine is Terry Johnson. This is Terry Johnson Online or Terry Johnson. I think it's Terry Johnson Online. Or Web Girl TJ, one of those.
Yeah, so let's go find one another on Snapchat over on that playground. And we'll be back Monday. We just want to say thank you. Thank you, because you totally could have been anywhere else in the world, but you is hanging out with us today. So everybody watching on YouTube, everybody watching live and the replay, we really do appreciate you, and we will see you on Monday. Thanks, TJ.
Bye-bye.